So a little bit something different today. We are at the Sunspot Solar Observatory in Sunspot, New Mexico, which is the Sacramento Mountains down in southern New Mexico. This facility that we're going to take a look at today was established in 1947, and the reason this was chosen was it overlooks White Sands Missile Range. It's high altitude. There's very little moisture to interfere with the telescopes, and it's just a good place, obviously, to observe the sun. We have a lot of sunshine here in New Mexico, so we're gonna go check it out, see what's here. Sunspot Solar Observatory is a really cool place to walk around and observe how we have observed the sun over time, but they also have a pretty cool little visitor center with all different types of displays and exhibits about how we are observing the sun and the science behind observing the sun. Down below us is the Tularosa Basin in White Sands National Park. If you're ever down in Alamogordo and you look up at the mountains and you see a huge white tower and you're wondering what it is, it's actually the most famous telescope here, the Dunn Telescope. It's a pretty incredible structure. Let's take a closer look. So at 136 feet tall, you might think that this is a pretty incredible structure. But what's even more incredible is there's another 228 feet underground. This is a huge telescope. You might think all you gotta do to observe the sun is just look up, but it's a lot more complicated than that. This telescope, for example, I already told you, goes 228 feet underground after the 136 feet into the air. But it's also mounted in an incredible way. The telescope tube, optical laboratory, and instruments are all connected as a single freely rotating platform weighing over 250 tons, and amazingly enough, floating on approximately 120 gallons of liquid mercury. That all helps to keep it balanced and smooth. It's just an incredible piece of engineering. This whole area is pretty cool. It kind of has the feel of a secret 1940s military base about it, but it's neat. This is one of the earlier telescopes here at Sunspot Solar Observatory, and one of the reasons why they were doing observations of the sun was to predict interference on radio communications. You can imagine at a missile range, testing nuclear weapons and things like that, that you would want to keep your radio communications pretty solid. Just up the road from Sunspot Solar Observatory is Apache Point Observatory, and this is a much more traditional observatory. A lot of people don't understand or realize that New Mexico has a long and rich history in astronomical discovery. As a matter of fact, Pluto was discovered by a professor from New Mexico State University, Clyde Tombaugh. So hey, let's go Aggies. This is a really cool looking structure, and those doors open up and a huge telescope is inside. There's a little bonus to our Sunspot Observatory video.